I see you're attending your trial, dressed to kill. How appropriate.
I'm dressed as the leader around whom all Cassadines will rally. Beginning with you. Support me now or suffer the consequences. My surprises are just beginning.
Ah. The severity of your situation is sinking in. You're facing a life sentence. Naturally, you would look to the family for help. But it won't be forthcoming. The consensus among Cassadines, from the China Sea to the Aegean, is that the matriarch should hang.
You're lying.
Did you believe a lifetime of murder and mayhem would inspire devotion?
Locking me up will not solve your problems. Neither your current trouble with Laura and Nicholas, nor the trouble yet to come. Now, you'd be very wise to think of me as an insurance policy. Keep me free and available to you.
What can I do, Mother? You're facing murder charges. The wheels of justice have already been set in motion.
No, the evidence against me is circumstantial at best. If you would only testify on my behalf, then much of it would be dismissed.
That will happen immediately after the streets are paved with gold. Look for me on the witness stand, Mother.
You never did have the sense to listen to me. One hint that Lucky Spencer is alive, and your precious Laura will be lost to you forever.
Thank you. This is a surprise.
Well, you were a faithful visitor during my unfortunate illness. Why wouldn't I do the same for you?
Oh, well, I was a little more than a visitor. I cured you. Remember the antidote?
So you did. And I am deeply grateful.
I hope so.
Well, sadly, I'm not sure that there's much I can do for you in return. I'm having a few legal difficulties of my own at the moment.
Don't you worry, Helena. I'm okay.
My, such confidence. One would almost believe that you knew what you were doing when you allowed yourself to be captured. Or, perhaps, you think you have sufficient leverage to obtain your release? Lucky Spencer, for example? Now, he'd be a valuable bargaining chip. If only you had him.
What do you mean, if?
Well, you took advantage of my incapacitation to move Lucky Spencer without my knowledge. Now I've returned the favor. I have Lucky, where you will never find him. And you, Cesar, are in a lot more trouble than you thought.
Get back here, Helena, please. Would you get back here? Come on. Let's talk further.
I'm sorry, that took longer than I anticipated.
Is everything all right?
Yes. But we should expect a visit from Helena.
Yeah.
Where's Nicholas?
He thought you might be a little while, so he decided to go on home.
I am concerned about him.
So am I, but I think he'll find his way. Look what I found.
I love this photo. I had it made shortly after you left the island. I kept it in my desk. Even after we hadn't spoken for years, I would find myself looking at it, longing to tell you both things that I couldn't.
Nicholas was just telling me all the things that he's done for Elizabeth. And I couldn't help but think of all the things that you have done for me. You know, I may not have always agreed with them, but I want you to know that I know that you did them to protect me. Thank you.
Ooh, how delightful. My second son ringing in the new year, kissing his brother's widow.
What brings you here in the middle of the night, Mother? You're getting nervous?
Oh, actually, I'm welcoming in the year 2000 with more confidence than ever.
Okay, that's enough for me. Happy New Year. I meant what I was about to say.
Wait, don't go.
No, please. It's been a perfect evening, and I want to leave it that way.
Such lovely, lovely neck.
What is your business here? I'm so tired of your empty threats.
Oh, I assure you they are far from empty. I want an alibi for the night Catherine was murdered.
You want me to recant my statements to the police? To nullify legitimate evidence? Why would I do that?
You're a good liar. Retract your flimsy evidence. Say you saw me in the therapy room after all, and that the photographs placing me on the parapet when Catherine went over were doctored.
Apparently the evidence against you isn't flimsy after all.
Do as I say, or you will be very sorry. Go ahead. Have a look.
I'm not interested. Whatever is in there is either a lie or a bluff, and I am not playing your game.
And you're not the slightest bit curious?
No.
Very well. Have it your way. For now. Happy New Year. Oh, how wrong you are.
Whatever you want, the answer is no.
Run along, children, and don't stare. Alexis and I have legal matters to discuss.
Actually, we don't. Now go away.
Oh, poor Natasha. No one ever bothered to teach you manners, did they?
What's that supposed to mean?
Stay.
That's a good point. And you've got to go, so get your broom and get out.
Can't you see that Mrs. Jax doesn't want you here? Whoever you are?
Whomever, dear.
Whomever. Get out.
Juan, I appreciate your help. I really do.
I think you should drop it.
My boss wants you to get out.
Who, my boss? How quaint.
Juan, you know something? I think I can handle it from here.
Are you sure?
I am. Why don't you see if the track lights are in?
You'll be okay alone?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
It'd be nice if you weren't here when I got back.
We're leaving.
Well, he's handsome enough, I suppose, but how do you make him call you boss?
I don't know if your illness has affected your hearing, but I said whatever you want. The answer is no.
Well, I see you're still trying to work against the mousiness even now. I admire that.
All right, fine. I'll just call the DA's office.
What, I don't even get the police?
I can have your bail revoked.
Oh, but it's so inconvenient being in jail. Why would you want me there? After what happened to your dear mother? Oh, it would be a shame if something terrible happened now that you've started a new little life.
All right, I'll bite. Why don't you tell me what you want? Maybe I won't call.
Well, you've always been reasonably bright, and you do seem to have a genuine skill as an attorney. My attorney is incompetent. I need you to represent me.
Oh. Say that again.
I need you.
No. That's not what I thought.
Oh, don't babble, dear. Just a simple yes or no will do.
You know, I used to fantasize about this. I did. You coming to my doorstep and just begging me for help. But you see, in my fantasy, you groveled more. So I'm afraid that I need you to grovel.
Have you forgotten with whom you are dealing?
Have you?
You know, your dear mother had similar poor judgment.
If I were you, I would never mention my mother's name again. Not if you want my help. And apparently you do, or you wouldn't risk looking so pathetic. And you do look pathetic. But being a compassionate Cassadine, I'm going to show you some mercy. You don't have to grovel, but you do have to ask nicely. Now say please.
Please.
Pretty please.
Over your dead body.
No, it has to be yours or I won't help. And you know, I have friends now that can take care of that for me.
You are threatening me with your client friends? Are you sure that's legal?
Why don't you find out?
Oh, poor Natasha. You're not nearly as intelligent as I had hoped. So like your brother.
Yes.
Oh, I miss him terribly. Such a tragic accident. And when I was so ill. No, I'm not going to allow myself to think of Ari. I'm going to be grateful that his twin brother is here to take his place.
Ari would have wanted me to be here.
Shall we dedicate this little errand to him?
I'd be honored.
Right. I want you to meet with an Officer Malloy. He's a perfectly lovely man and willing to take a bribe. He's guarding Cesar Faison.
I understand.
Now, make sure that he places this with the evidence against Faison. It's imperative for the police to believe that this was confiscated when Faison was arrested.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Such a lovely boy. I hope I don't have to kill him, too. Such a delightful, light touch.
Thank you.
I hope you were this skillful with the police.
Officer Malloy was delighted to put the wig in with the rest of the evidence against Faison. And it didn't cost you very much.
Excellent work.
But forgive me if I'm being forward.
Oh, I appreciate forward.
Won't that wig make the police think you're connected to Cesar Faison?
Oh, I certainly hope so. A little lower, please.